Ayubowan and welcome to the third lesson, and today we are going to learn about the basic format and etiquette of phone calls that we follow in during conversations in Sinhalese. So as usual, before we get into the lesson, let's look into the three parts that the lesson would be made of. Number one is let's look at the background of Sri Lankan or telecommunication, and then we will see what type of format you could follow during official conversations and maybe personal conversations, and what's the best time to call. And we will also just glance through some of the important things that are related in the culture in the Sri Lankan society. So first, a little bit of a background. Number one, in Sri Lanka, telecommunication is extremely extent, and it has come to the point where everybody has a phone or access to the phone. So we could divide the telecommunication sector into two parts. You have the government sector and the private sector providing enough quality resources to people for access to mobile phones, telephones. So therefore you will have the opportunity to talk to practically anybody or reach anyone through a telephone number. So you have people using two types of phones. Number one, you have the coded landline phones, which are generally now used in the office setting or business setting. And apart from that, everybody else or almost everyone has a mobile phone. So you might be able to reach people through both lines. So if it's an official conversation, most likely you will be given a number that would connect to a coded landline, or in other cases, if they want you to contact them, you might be able to contact them through mobile phones. So let us now look at the telephone numbers. So all Sri Lanka numbers have 10 digits. You see 2, 4, 10, 2, 4, 10, and here I have 6 and 10. And the country code in Sri Lanka is +94. And as you can see, the ones which have been colored in red are area codes. So Sri Lanka has 25 districts, and in them you have each district has a particular area code. So the area code for Colombo is 01, the area code for Kandy is 08, and this is Matale. If you take Kurunegala, it's 038, etc. So the number, this is the format of the number. So when you dial a landline, if by chance the person is calling from Colombo, you have to always dial 01 if you're dialing from a landline. But if it is a mobile phone, you have numbers like 0777 or 078, etc. Right. So what is the format that you can follow during a business conversation or an official conversation? So usually when you have to have a conversation, first thing of a conversation would be to be greeting. So it's okay to say Ayubowan. Ayubowan, I think, is less frequently used, but it's a nice way to start Ayubowan. So you could also use the word Vanakkam, which is in Tamil language. There's a significant population of Sri Lanka who speak Tamil, and it is also an official language. So it is nice to know the word Vanakkam. So you have the first word Ayubowan. You've learned this before, Ayubowan, and this one is Vanakkam. Or you could, like in most of the conversations, you could just say hello, and how are you, or in Sinhalese, hello, kohomada oyata, or how are you, right? Or you could just say hi or Ayubowan, Vanakkam, and then introduce from your designation itself, saying or from which company you are from. For example, let's assume that you're calling from a company called company ABC. You could say Ayubowan, this is ABC company calling. So you could use any type of those greetings, and then you have your body of the conversation where you will have to, where you will be communicating what you have to do, or what you want to say, or what you got to do. And in the end, you can always close the conversation with a thank you. And in Sinhala, the word thank you is Bohoma Istuti. Bohoma Istuti. Bohoma Istuti. Bohoma Istuti is thank you. And also, you can then go ahead and follow up with whether you want to have a conversation again or any of those. So basically, the three things that you need to look for again is when you start off the conversation, you can start off with a greeting, and then you have your communication, and then you close the conversation. So this is the basic format that you should follow. But if it's a personal call, of course, you could always start with the greeting with hello. You don't have to use Ayubowan. It's very rarely used, but you can just say hello. So about the timings, when you want to make a call, especially a business call, I think it's best to make a call between the times of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's generally not good practice to call somebody after 6, 7. Most of the time they're traveling back home. So I'd suggest that you make your calls between 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And a few things I think you should remember is that when you are making a call, make sure that when you're specifically or especially taking a call from a very public or a public area, to make sure that you're not very loud, and so that it doesn't necessarily disturb everybody else. It's okay even if you take public transport. It's better to make sure that you don't sound very loud. And the other thing is, now everybody has access to the internet, so most of the calls could also be made through WhatsApp or Viber, but then make sure you don't make those calls unless and of course your business contacts have specifically told you to do so, or else unless that, you always make sure that you call them with the number that they have provided. And another interesting thing that I want to say is, like, most of the time you would be using your mobile phones. So in an instance where your credit or the money that you have in your phone has decreased or it's over, and then you need to top up your phone, you could always go to any shop in Sri Lanka and get it topped up. The word that is frequently used is the word reload. Reload means top up. So you could go to any shop and then just say that you need to reload your phone, and then maybe you could get, they might give you a small machine, or they would ask you to write down the number, or you would just be given a small top-up card. So using that, you can top up your phone, or else you could have, there are these little, especially in certain places in Colombo and Kandy, you would find the top-up machines which are there in public places. You could put your number in and then insert the relevant amount, and then you would get your credit to your phone. So basically those are the things that you need to remember. So again, remember the background and the numbers, codings, remember how to dial them, and then during a business format conversation, remember first you start with the greeting. It could be Ayubowan in Sinhalese, Vanakkam in Tamil. You can say hello, or you can just introduce your company directly, and then you communicate. And when you're about to close the conversation, say thank you or Bohoma Stuti. And in the personal conversation, you could always start with the greeting with hello, and that should be totally fine. Make sure the timings you call between 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and remember these little interesting things that I just told you. So that would do for the communication part of the lesson, and then hopefully we'll meet you with the next lesson. Thanks.